You've done a ton of work at this point, but as yet you still haven't earned any money. Now don't worry, this is where the selling comes in, and that's how you're going to monetize your list and make a profit from it. But you haven't been wasting your time with all of that targeting and value. This is exactly how you'd have built up the trust and the authority of your brand so that you can be effective in your selling going forward. Providing value is what makes people want to keep reading your emails, and you need to keep doing this to keep them interested and on board. So when it comes to selling time, you don't want to just suddenly change track and hit them with the hard sell. Instead, you need to gently introduce them to your product, and you need to get them interested in buying. All the while, you still need to be providing value via your email. This is where AIDA comes in. AIDA is an acronym that stands for Awareness, Interest, Desire, Action. Were you to create a sales page to sell a product, you would attempt to fit all of these stages into your persuasive writing. For an email list though, you have the space and flexibility to handle each step in a separate email. So you've been sending lots of emails, providing great value and building your relationship with your readers. Now you want them to be aware of an exciting new product coming up. So the next step is to mention casually at the end of your message that you've got something new and exciting in the works and you'll talk about it more in the future. This won't put anyone off or have them clamoring for the unsubscribe button, but it will warm them up for the next stage. Next comes interest. In this email, the ratio of value to marketing will move a little further towards the marketing, so you'll give yourself a bit more space to talk about what this new product does and why people should care. Keep things a little vague, but at the same time, make sure they get enough information to be interested and to look forward to the next message. Then comes desire, and this is where you start going in for the slightly harder sale and focusing on your value proposition. A value proposition basically means that you're going to focus on how your product will make life better and how it really provides value. You don't sell hats, you sell warm heads. What does your product do that will get people to really want it and to imagine themselves owning it? This is the great part, because they still can't buy the product at this point, but they really want it. The time between your desire and action emails will work to increase anticipation and gradually ramp up the excitement. Then, when the action email comes through, providing a quick and easy way to buy the product, you'll see a rush of people who want to buy the product. Well, that's the idea anyway. The other great thing is that you can do all of this through an autoresponder sequence. This essentially means that your autoresponder is going to automatically send out your messages on your behalf with just the right amount of time in between them. This means you could send out a sequence of 5 emails to build trust and provide value, and then follow this up immediately with your AIDA sales funnel that will convince them to buy. This not only means that you can set your website up and earn money from it without needing to create anything new, which is what we call passive income, but it also means you can avoid the scenario where someone joins your mailing list at the desire stage and is then put off by being sold a product they've never heard of as the first email they've received. You can combine autoresponder sequences with regular emails, or you can use just one technique or the other. Of course, autoresponder sequences also lend themselves well to email courses where you provide the different pieces of information each week. Just a side note here, but another benefit of using an autoresponder is that you can manage more than one list, and this means you can have a main mailing list and an e-course or some other kind of sequence. At the very least, you want to auto-generate one message for everyone who signs up to your list, welcoming them to it and thanking them for getting involved. This also happens to be a great way to get them more psyched up and excited for your mailing list, and this is an excellent opportunity for you to ask for them to whitelist you. Upselling is a strategy you can use to increase the amount of money you make from a successful sale. Essentially, it involves striking while the iron is hot and promoting an additional offer to someone who has already just made a purchase. The logic behind this is that it's much easier to sell someone who just bought a product or who is going through the process of buying one than it is to sell someone cold who's shown no previous interest in buying from you. The key thing to consider here are the barriers to sale. Now, these are anything that puts somebody off buying and that will make it less likely for them to make a purchase. A typical selection of barriers to sale in your case would include lack of trust, they don't know the seller, concern over the quality of your products or recommendations, not wanting to make the efforts to get out a credit card, or not wanting to spend money. Someone who is in the process of buying a product, though, will have overcome many of these barriers. Send them a follow-up email and invite them to add to their order or to buy something extra. You can also upsell as soon as someone becomes a subscriber because they're clearly taking the time to engage with your brand. Keep in mind, of course, that there are more ways you can monetize your mailing list besides selling products and promoting affiliate products. There are also many other uses you can get from mailing lists as well. One way to earn money, of course, is to sell solo ads, and likewise you can get paid by sponsors to promote certain goods. These are good ways to make money, but not as lucrative as selling your own items, and you should avoid selling out too much for fear of driving subscribers away. Another option is to sell your mailing list. We've already discussed that mailing lists will lose their value when you sell them, and as a rule you can earn much more from a list than you can stand to gain from selling it. But the exception to this rule is when you sell your whole business, especially if your brand is not a personal brand. Then selling your mailing list along with your business will increase its value, and it's a great exit strategy. Remember too that you can survey your audience and use them to get feedback and to crowdsource ideas. Why not ask your list of products they'd like to buy and make that exact product? It's pretty much a foolproof strategy. So there you have it. Tons of tips and strategies that will give you an absolute mastery over email marketing and list building. There's a lot to sink your teeth into there, but if you only take a few things away from all of this, let it be these things. First of all, targeting is crucial, and it's much more important to have a highly targeted list than it is to have a massive list. In fact, if you're paying for subscribers, then you want to actively discourage people from signing up unless they are interested in your niche, willing to spend money online, engaged and committed to your brand. Make sure that everything from your marketing to your use of incentives keeps this objective in mind. Even more important than targeting your audience is to ensure that you are providing great value. Your email should be filled with great content that people can't wait to read. Ideally, the emails will be the incentives. Likewise, your website should be filled with amazing high-value content because this is what will get people interested in subscribing in the first place. Make sure your content is unique and offers something new. And finally, make sure you are promoting your list. This means you should feature it prominently on your homepage, it means you should mention it regularly in your content, and it means you should talk about it when you meet people in person. Don't just leave your opt-in form there and hope people will find it. Really push it. When you do all of these things, you'll quickly learn why a highly targeted mailing list is one of the most valuable things that any business can invest in. You'll have direct contact with a highly engaged and relevant audience, and from there the possibilities are endless. And I wish you every success.